Yeah, I'm just going to sit here and mess around and see if I can get a better image.
Everybody got food? Everybody get food, have a seat, we're about to start. Get food, have a seat, we're about to start. Wow, this is a lot of people having fun. You still can't hear me?
Hello, everybody. Please take a seat. We're going to get going. Please move to a seat. Come on in, everybody.
All right, everybody, let's get lined up.
Come on. Everybody in the back row, let's go. Everybody hear us okay? Back row, please. Let's get the program going. Can I have your help, please? Curtis, go work the back row.
So everybody's getting food. So get food. I know it's taking a little while getting through the line. That's okay. But we do have a good show for you tonight. So when you get the food, have a seat, and we're going to start. Oh, and I just got a drink. Hey!
I got it on manual. But I rolled it all the way to the one direct. Look, yeah, I did it. It's all the gained all the way up. I'm just looking for the ND switch now.
Where's your other camera? Head on? Okay, it's up there. Okay, cool. I just want to get you in.
Everybody, take your seats, please. Get something to eat or get a cocktail, and please come sit down. We'd love to get started now.
Yeah, I can do it. We'll give it a shot. Where you can see that team on the back.
Okay, it's time to get started, everybody. May I have your attention, please? Everybody, let's get going. May I have your attention? Okay. That may be about as quiet as it's going to get. You know, I got involved with Caltrop a few years ago, and the reason is Curtis was running these events, and I said, Curtis, you really need to improve the way you run the events. The first thing to do is you have to capture the room's attention. And tonight he delegated that to me, so what goes around comes around. Thank you, Curtis. So my name is Paul Vase. I'm the chairman of the board of California Trout for the last few years. Couldn't be more proud of my affiliation with this great group. And I want to welcome all of you on behalf of the staff and the board to the occasion of our 50th anniversary. Now, tonight's event is kind of a family reunion, which is something we do every year in the city, but it's on steroids, and it's fitting in as much as this is the 50th anniversary of a community of family members that are taking on this task, fighting for fresh, clean water and native fish in California. So thank you all for coming tonight. Really very gratified to see a lot of familiar faces every year at this event. Thank you so much. I wanted to thank also the staff for putting on this unbelievable venue and fantastic video production. Tracy, Ashley, the guys that worked on that, really love this. So a couple things that I wanted to express here tonight. In the program, you're going to hear a lot about Caltrop's history, which is something that we celebrate and honor it. Not a lot of nonprofits last 50 years. And not only have we lasted 50 years, but we've never been stronger with more momentum than we are right now. And it's timely given the challenges that California face. So a lot of that credit goes to you, and it's just it's super gratifying. And Curtis, Curtis gets a lot of credit there. And I wanted to highlight just for a moment the board. We have a lot of several new board members tonight, and they're a fantastic group. And the board is really focused in three key areas. The strategy, which comes down to science, environmental justice, social justice, and policy. We have a really center of expertise now on the board in those categories. Also from an execution side, working with organizations going through growth mode and growth spurts, which is what we're doing now. We have a board that it just has great expertise in all of those areas that will allow us to grow. And there are issues when you grow and you're passing through the capital and the funds that we are from the government into these conservation projects. It's really important that we execute and operate smoothly and efficiently. And then finally, on the fundraising perspective, getting our messages down and reaching a larger, more diverse donor base that represents California as a whole. That's what we're endeavoring to do in the near term. So we're really pivoting to the future, speaking to the community that we have here tonight and enlarging that and making it a bigger tent, symbolically here with this tent, a bigger tent of donors for California Trout. So the first thing we're going to do tonight is run a video, which is the 50 voices, and you may see yourself. There's many people in the room here that are in this video, and you should see, if you don't see yourself, you'll see at least a reflection of your sentiments. So we'll start with that, and then it goes over to Curtis. Tracy told me to do a couple announcements. The insulated cups on the tables are yours to take home. Is that true? Well, okay. And then there's a raffle that's undergoing with a long list of very nice items, and there will be people circulating selling raffle tickets, so I highly advise you to get a couple of those. Curtis, have I missed anything?
Got it, Chairman.
Okay, roll the video.
They're leaders. We are leaders. creating a model for the rest of the country and the world to follow.
We are scientists.
We are scientists.
We are scientists.
Relying on science to guide our research, policy, and restoration.
Using science to inform advocacy has never been stronger than it is today.
We are innovators.
How else could you figure out how to grow salmon in rice fields?
We are problem solvers
We're the brave ones that people turn to.
to get things done.
We are collaborators
Finding practical solutions.
that work for all. We are inclusive.
Realizing and recognizing that every voice is important.
Every person and every occupation is of value. We are educators.
We are educators. And informing our members and the next generation about the importance of stewarding California's natural resources.
Enthusiastically educate and include everyone in appreciating fish, water, and people.
We are persistent.
We're not afraid of the long commitment that this work requires. We're in it for the long haul.
We are outdoor enthusiasts, and we believe that everyone should have access to the recreation,
Education.
And balance that the outdoors provide.
We're neighbors.
Neighbors.
And like a good neighbor, Caltrop is there.
I support Caltrop. I support Caltrop.
I support Caltrop.
Because Caltrop will be there all the way until the job's done. Sticking with things over the long run. Going the extra mile.
If it weren't for organizations like Caltrop, this world would be a very different place.
If it weren't for Caltrop, there would be another big dam on the Eel River.
There wouldn't be hundreds of miles of designated wild trout waters.
These abundant runs of wild, resilient fish in California.
California is special to me.
California is special to me
Because of its people.
because of wide open spaces. Because I was born and raised here.
Because of its diverse landscapes.
I support Caltrop because that organization has helped to save our ranch. Because the environment matters. Because I believe that water is life.
I believe in California Trout because of its people.
We bring people together, and we're changing the future of California for the better. In 50 years, I hope California's rivers are crystal clear, vibrant, aquatic ecosystems, running wild and free, and full of fish.
I want to have my grandson tell you all about the great things that Caltrop has done for their second 50.
I hope California's rivers and fish will be safe from climate change.
Another 50 years from now, indeed, I will be old. But Caltrop will still be there, doing what it does so well. And to that, hats off to you, Caltrop.
Happy 50th, Caltrop. We love you.
Happy 50th anniversary, Caltrout.
Happy 50th birthday, Caltrop!
Happy anniversary, Caltrout.
Happy 50th, Caltrop.
Happy birthday, Caltrop.
Sal, can you say happy birthday, Caltrop?
That was awesome. That's hearing from all of you. Thank you, Paul, for the welcome, and it's pretty amazing. Welcome everybody to Caltrop's 50th. I look out here and I just see people I haven't seen yet tonight. It's pretty amazing, this group of people. I've met people here who I know the founders. I've met people here who have been involved for 47 years, 20 years, 30 years, 10 years, 5 years, and new people. And it's just amazing, this Caltrop family. So,
How's it, folks?
welcome to Caltrop's birthday party. We have a big night for you. We're going to talk about past achievements, and we're going to look to the future about the challenges and opportunities that are before us in the next 50 years. We're excited to do that. I hope on your way in you got to see some of those moments to write history, as we call them, some of our biggest achievements of the past. Things like, of course, the Hat Creek Project, where not only would we restore a creek, but also the whole idea of wild trout management was pioneered here in this creek. It resulted in the wild trout program that still exists today and really changed the course of the way wild trout streams are managed really in the entire United States. The Wild and Scenic Rivers Act of California, 1972, one of the earliest victories of California trout. The Committee of 2 Million. Not only is this act still protecting some of our best rivers in the state, at the time, it prevented the final nail in the coffin to the Dos Rios Dam on the Eel River. Think Trinity Dam on the Eel River to take Eel River water and put it into the Central Valley. It doesn't exist because of the Committee of 2 Million, Richard May, and other early founders of California Trout. And then we got involved with this thing. Mono Lake, Richard Roos Collins, Jim Edmonson, so many of you are here, Richard May. David beats Goliath. Los Angeles Department of Water and Power was dewatering tributary streams to Mono Lake. Caltrop, Audubon, others came in. And in the end, we prevailed and ended up restoring flows to Mono Lake and its tributary streams.
That's
and
better. Yeah.
Most importantly, maybe at the time, was setting this legal precedent that still exists today to prioritize keeping water flowing below dams, good condition, and healthy rivers. That's something that has gone through the decades as a benefit. And more recently, taken on giants again when the Nestle Corporation came to McLeod and wanted to establish the world's largest water bottling plant at the headwaters of the McLeod River. And Caltrop and several other partner groups punched them in the nose and sent them packing. And because of that, the McLeod River is still running nice and so I could go on like this for a while. But the main thing I want to say is just, it's you all here that did this. You in this room accomplished these achievements, so you should feel really proud about that and really proud about where Caltrop is today. Richard May will tell this story. He has told this story to me, how a small group of activist anglers in the 60s were brown bag lunching it at a small hole-in-the-wall fly shop on Leesdorf Valley, and they were then lamenting about the course of wild trout and healthy rivers in California, and they decided to do something about it. And Richard May and other early founders, look what you've created. We're pushing $20 million this year. We're a staff of 35 and growing. We're throughout the state, and our impact, we're only getting started. But you started this thing 50 years ago, and I think for a nonprofit conservation organization that's state-focused, 50 years, it's pretty remarkable. So again, you all made it happen. I want to recognize you in the room. So, if you are a past board member of Caltrop, I want you to stand up. How many past board members do we have here? Yeah! That's pretty good. Okay, what about past staff? I can't see all the way out there too, so I can't. Past staff. Richard May. Jim Edmonson, stand up. You guys stand up. Right there. All right, we're going to get our time with Richard. Jim Edmonson hired me. My first mentor was 22 years at Caltrop in the 80s and 90s, maybe, somewhere in there. Great to see you, Jim. It's been a while. Okay, how about current board members? Please stand up. Current board. Yeah. All right. We have 5 new board members that came to their first board meeting this week. 5 new board members. Just stand up, just so you new 5. Let's see you 5 new board members. All right. And I can't see anything, so hopefully I can't see who's standing up. I want to introduce you to these people because they're pretty special to me. I get to work with them every day. I got a ton of respect for what each one of them brings on a daily basis to the work that we do. So our current staff, please stand up. Give them a big hand. People are awesome. All right, I think we have another video. Is that right? Let me check and we'll see where we are. have a bite of food. We have a couple of people that we're going to recognize right now, so we're not going to a video. So we heard from some of these. I'm going to invite Gary Arabian up here to help me out. Gary! Where's Gary? Come help me out, Gary. We are going to honor a very special person who's been involved with Caltrop since the beginning. And I'm going to introduce to you Gary Arabian. Many of you know Gary Arabian. He was past board member for many, many years. Good buddy of mine. Take it away.
All right.
Oh, yeah, here.
One of these or one of
Yeah,
those?
no, here. Take this.
I know better to just kind of ad-lib and just let it flow. So, thank you, Curtis. It's a great honor for me. So I have some notes I'm going to be referring to them occasionally. It's a great honor for me to be here to acknowledge and honor our founder, Richard May. And it all began over 50 years ago when Richard May, Joe Paul, and a core group of dedicated California anglers petitioned the Department of Fish and Game to allow for a natural, self-sustaining way to manage Hat Creek's trout population, utilizing catch and release regulations, then a new and novel concept. First is the conventional put-and-take hatchery model that was commonplace during that era. It was a tremendous success, and as you heard from Curtis earlier, and established the Caltrop model for habitat restoration and for establishing self-sustaining wild fish populations. Soon thereafter, this core group helped organize the Committee of 2 Million, which persuaded the then Governor Ronald Reagan to intervene when he withheld his approval for a huge dam proposed by the Army Corps of Engineers at the confluence of the Eel River and the Middle Fork Eel at Dos Rios, saving 110,000 acres of pristine habitat. This eventually led to Governor Reagan signing the Wild and Scenic Rivers Act, preserving many of our most beautiful, free-flowing rivers in their natural state. Then it all came together in January 1971, when Richard May and this core group of anglers broke away from a national trout organization to form California Trout. Its purpose, to 100% focus in California on establishing self-sustaining wild trout and steelhead populations and preserving the clean, cold, free-flowing rivers that nurture them. As we know, there have been so many victories since those early days. Richard, you and your core team for the staff, executive director, and board all in one, fighting the fight for our rivers and streams and wild fish populations, all on a shoestring budget. And because of your vision, passion, courage, and dedication in founding Caltrop 50 years ago, today we are an organization with a budget over $15 million, have established 6 regions and regional offices, have a staff of 35 professionals, have over 60 current active projects, and have established strategic partnerships with top-tier universities, including UC Davis's Center for Watershed Sciences, Humboldt State, UC Santa Barbara, and others. So we are here to say thank you, Richard. You are an inspiration to so many of us. I know Jim Edmonson is here because he's sitting across from me. And Jim was our ED for many years and led and won many of our trout warrior battles. He had and has such a high regard for you, Richard, and looked up to you, as I do, and so many of us have in the Caltrop family over the years.
Yeah, what do you want to call him?
So please accept, we've got more than a few things to present, but please accept out of deep respect and with much gratitude, one of our highest honors, the Joe Paul Award. Also, we have framed the letter from Joe Paul in May 1971, awarding you an honorary founding sponsorship membership in Caltrop, along with the original Caltrop Keeper of the Streams membership card that has the original Caltrop mission statement on the back. Again, thank you, Richard, for establishing and leading for many years. Caltrop, we love you. Richard, you look no different, buddy. Here, please accept this on behalf of everyone. This is great. That this organization
Here, hand it out to everybody there.
Is here because of you. You founded it. I read quite a bit of the background information and the history of how you guys had to start. And you were doing it originally as basically a branch and or of a larger organization that was California focused, but not enough was getting done. And you knew what needed to get done, and the only way it could have got done is to organize Breakaway, which took courage from a national organization, and create California trout 100% focused here in California. 11 distinct species of wild trout and steelhead. And because of that, I mean, you were running your insurance business in the flood building, and Caltrop was the office next door, and you fought the fight. You, Joe Paul, and others were there, and you did it on a shoestring budget, but you led and innovated with concepts like engaging science and doing everything that won a lot of the early battles. And we're all here because of you, and this state is so much better off for our kids and grandkids. So, thank you, Richard. Thank you, Richard. Woo!
Well, this is really great. We need to remember that the really personal driving force of getting us started was an individual I had great respect for, Joseph Paul, who lived only less than a year after we were founded, died suddenly, unexpectedly, and I was sitting there holding the bag. I didn't know whether we could continue after that because he was a driving force, and it worked out. So I'd like to probably talk about all the things that was talked about here, all of our accomplishments,
Go to the other camera.
all of what we managed to do in the 20 years that I was there. But there's been 30 years since then. And I wouldn't want at this time to focus on any of that, but to focus on the 50 years ahead rather than the 50 years.
Yeah.
50 years ago, we faced a number of challenges, and we met those challenges, and we solved a lot of problems.
Correct.
But I'll tell you, ladies and gentlemen, we have a problem in front of us now that is going to take Herculean efforts, and that is to solve the problem presented to us by global warming.
Not really.
In a word, it could kill us.
All right, now.
And all that we fought for this last half century. So I urge you, as deep as your dedication to Caltrop and the work that we do is now, to double your efforts and double your devotion to those efforts. And with that, I'll give the microphone back to whoever wants it.
That's great. Thank you, Richard. Yeah.
So,
the original letter.
this is the original letter from Joe Paul. And this is the first membership card, the original in Caltrop as a sponsored membership. And the mission statement on the back is as true then as it is today. And we wanted to frame that, in honor of all that you and Joe have done.
It means so much to me.
Yes, you can sit. All right, Richard May, an icon to all of us. We stand on his shoulders. I want to invite Mr. Vidinsky and Mr. Boyle to tag team this.
stream a mainstay for the editors of conservation-based publications.
You're still on your
Often,
camera, right?
some of our favorite magazines, Fly Fishing and the California Fly Fisherman. A conservationist for wild fish and their habitat. Haig Brown was good, but not as good as our brother Dick. You know, Dick, Dick was, when Caltrop was founded, Dick was the stream keeper at Half Creek, which was the founding stream that Caltrop protected. And at that time, Dick was the inaugural stream keeper of that river. Can I find my place here? So I'll tell you the most important thing when we talk about conservationists. This is extraordinary, and it doesn't even compare. No one else in the Caltrop organization compares to this, and that is that Dick has trained, tutored, and mentored perhaps 150. Get that around you. 150 disciples. Each year, for over 20 years, Clearwater House, on the banks of the Hat Creek, a week before the beginning of the trout season, 8 or more young people eight or more young people would arrive to learn this conservationist approach to a day well spent in chilly water to the knees and an occasional wiggle at the end of a well-cast line. He taught them to have respect for the fish and their sometimes fragile habitat. He taught them that being there and doing was the ultimate reward of the day. They've gone on, these disciples, many as career guides, preaching the gospel of Mr. Gallant daily. So if you extrapolate that, it's like thousands of days a year that isn't expired. The current and future generations, with Dick's guided hand, Haig Brown, not a chance. To finish, you know,
good, Al.
Oftentimes people are remembered for something. You have to really. I want you to really get a sense for this, okay? Oftentimes people are remembered for something they said, in a particularly if they said it often. For instance, FDR said, if we have nothing to fear but fear itself. You hear that over and over and over through history, and so forth. So Dick's disciples carry with them such a remembrance, a never to be forgotten instruction, one we can all remember. Never wear a hat at the dinner table.
There we go.
I didn't get to be one of his disciples, but if I could remember 10% of what he taught me, I'd be a pretty good angler. So I've got a lot to learn yet from my brother. Let's raise our glasses in toast to our friend, conservationist, and champion for Caltrop, Dick Gavin.
It's just, it's a man's good fortune to have friends who will exaggerate your compliments so extravagantly. Well, I'll keep it brief since Alan has gone on. 47 years ago, I moved to California. And I moved to Muir Beach, and after I settled into Muir Beach, I decided I needed to find some trout water because I'd been working in Texas in the Chihuahuan Desert for 5 years, and I was ready for trout. I went to Andy Pouillon's at Creative Sports in the East Bay, and he sent me to Hat Creek. This was 3 or 4 years after the Hat Creek Wild Trout Project had been established. I got to Hat Creek and I fell in love. I fell under the spell of this magical Spring Creek fishery, and it changed my life. It truly changed my life. I fished there for 3 or 4 years, and then in 1982 I bought an old farmhouse on Hat Creek and created this business, Clearwater House, which I ran for 25 years. And I had the pleasure and the honor during that time of supporting Caltrop by being the stream keeper on Hat, and eventually ending up having been the stream keeper of all the wild trout waters in eastern Shasta County. Then that involved picking up trash. It involved sitting through endless PG&E and FERC meetings about relicensing the hydro projects. I remember having called Dick May up the day after I got back from my first trip to Caltrop and saying, this is a fabulous thing. I mean, Dick May was Caltrop at that point, and I said, this is so good. I want to be a part of this. He said, well, just become a member. So I did. It was my first $25 to Caltrop in 1976, and it just went on from there. And I got to say that it has been a significant part of my life these last, now 47 years since that first day on Hat. And it is a singular honor to receive this award, because Roderick Haig Brown is one of my idols as a fishing writer. And it is a singular honor to see what Caltrop has become in these 47 years. And I just, the last thing I guess is that the Clearwater House Trust will carry on the legacy of Clearwater supporting Caltrop as we go forward. Apropos of the guides, they used to bitch because every year at the beginning of the season I would ask them to show me their membership card, that they had renewed their membership in Caltrop for that season. So every year Caltrop got about 20 renewed memberships. In any event, thank you so much. It's been an honor.
One last thing.
One more thing.
Dick's wife Annie calls him Trout, and I don't know of anyone who deserves that title more than Dick. But it's not Trout; it's Sir Trout.
I should also add that she also called me the Trout Tycoon, but that was not really quite how it worked out.
All right, thanks you guys. All right, we're going to switch gears a little bit here, and we're just going to remind you again of some of our past achievements and our work today with this video.
50 years ago, a small group of dedicated anglers who knew firsthand the majesty of California's pristine waters and the native wild fish that depend on them saw the writing on the wall. With wild fish populations in rapid decline, these activist anglers, Joe Paul, Richard May, Bill Quinn, and others, understood that you can't solve a problem by treating the symptom. California waters needed to be managed, protected, and restored to sustain wild fish. Thus, California trout was born, and with it, a new approach to conservation that would shape not only the California landscape, but the course of history. Over a half-century, Caltrop has built an astonishing legacy of success through conservation, advocacy, and scientific innovation, restoring wild fisheries like Hat Creek, passing the California Wild and Scenic Rivers Act, winning monumental legal battles at Mono Lake, preventing the largest water bottling plant in the world on the McCloud River. These are the moments that write history, building with each success. How does Caltrop do it? With a sound and time-tested working model that's built to scale. Every undertaking is rooted in science, beginning with proof-of-concept projects on the ground and scaling up success through policy and partnerships. With more than 60 large-scale conservation projects currently underway, a robust science program, and boots on the ground in the halls of Sacramento, Caltrop's 6 regional offices work tirelessly with the local communities in which they live, building trust among diverse interests. Today, Caltrop is charging forward, shaping the future of California, across the landscape, from ridgetop to rivermouth. Removing barriers and taking out obsolete dams, reopening the first source waters to sea river access for southern steelhead, partnering with farmers to reintegrate nature with altered landscapes by growing fish food on over 5,000 acres of Central Valley floodplain, using new technologies to bring ranching irrigation and water management practices into the 21st century in Klamath River tributaries critical to salmon and steelhead recovery. Finding innovative ways to combat the impacts of climate change through fuels reduction and meadow restoration in the Sierra. Taking a comprehensive, no-holds-barred approach to restoring the Eel River, one of the best salmon and steelhead strongholds in the state, and providing unceasing protection for our state's legacy trout waters, staying true to Caltrout's origins. As we celebrate Caltrout's 50 years, just imagine what the next half-century will look like as Caltrop continues to unleash its impact across the landscape toward a vision of California where healthy waters flow from headwaters to sea. The next 50 years starts now. Join us.
Celebrating our past, and let's not forget about who we are today. We're scientists. We think like scientists. We ask questions. We experiment. We gather data. All that information informs our restoration work. We're practitioners. We get shit done. We're also advocates. We give a voice to fish in the halls of Sacramento, the halls of Washington, D.C. We're also evolving to take on the challenges of the next 50 years. The challenges of today are not the challenges of tomorrow. But Caltrop is evolving. We're evolving and we're expanding and diversifying our base. This is necessary because we need to be relevant to all Californians. We need a diversity of our fish and our waters that match the diversity of the people we see throughout this state. This work, all this work that we do, all the work that we've done over the years, involves partners. We don't do it alone. We have a lot of partners here that we want to celebrate with. And we have a Stream Keepers Award here for several of our biggest and closest partners. So I'm going to call them up, and we're going to present them with Caltrop Streamkeepers Award. And I'm going to ask for some help here as we do this. First of all, I'd like to ask, we have a Streamkeepers Award for Sustainable Conservation. And Ashley Bourne is the Executive Director of Sustainable Conservation. Many of you know this group. Way to go, Ashley. Let me see if I can find your award here. There you go. Come on up. You got to come up. There you go. Yes. Thank you. Thanks for everything you do. Sustainable Conservation doing many progressive things here. I'll note one thing, accelerating the pace of restoration through permitting help. We utilize the tools that you all produce. It allows us to do our job faster, better, quicker. Restoration projects on the ground. We appreciate that. So please stay up here. Okay? And then I'm going to ask Annalise Rivero, our Sacramento Policy Associate. Annalise, where are you? Oh, I think we have your logo up too. There we go. Trout Pack is a partner of ours. The Political Action Committee, Richard May, founded Trout Pack years ago. And Alan Vadinsky, among some others. But Alan, you've recharged this thing. Come on up here. And I'm going to ask Annalise to say a few words about why Trout Pack is such an important partner for the work that we do in Sacramento.
Nice to see you in person, by the way. I would like to announce I was given 10 minutes warning.
Yeah.
This is happening.
It was more like a half hour.
It was. I'll be
Yeah.
fair.
You're good.
Thank you. So I hear. No, I think people so vastly underestimate the importance of the association of having a trout pack with a nonprofit like this, and we're extremely appreciative of your hard work, your effort, your support in what we do, and especially right now, as everyone's brought up right now, we are at a critical turning point, and with the never-before-seen drought we're facing, something like this and a trout pack has so much influence in the legislature, and a lot of other nonprofits don't have this opportunity to exert such influence. And so I think this is something that we really can use and use well as a tool right now to exert real influence. And I heard at the board meeting, y'all were talking about upcoming seats in the legislature that will be turning soon, and what does that mean? What is that opportunity? And, to steal a phrase from Governor Newsom, that now is our time to meet the moment. And as, cheesy as that can be, I think it's very true. And super excited to be working with you. And I think this means a lot and is hugely impactful to our work. And I'm really excited to use that opportunity. So thank you.
All right.
I just met this young lady, I don't know, maybe 3 months ago, I guess. And I would tell you, this is the spark plug that Caltrop needs in the legislature. As far as the PAC is concerned, many of you have been supporters of the PAC over the past 5 or 6 years, 7 years, and so myself and Bill Epstein and Steve Rogers are doing the work on the ground, if you will, and we appreciate those of you who have been contributors for quite a number of years. I think we got this thing started in 2016. Actually, we didn't start it. Richard May started it some years ago, and in 2016, Curtis said, "Hey, would you take?" I was getting off the board, and Curtis said, "Would you kind of take this thing and revitalize it?" And so I said, "Sure." And we have done that, and it's been so terrific.
It's awesome.
Yeah. And those of you who have not ever contributed to the PAC, those of you who have not, just because you just didn't think of it, please think of it.
All right.
And
all right. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, stay up here. We got one more to do. The Public Policy Institute of California. Who's heard of them? Yeah. They have a water policy center, public policy institute account. Ellen Hannick, water policy center director, is here. So thank you, Ellen. Thank you. Here. There you go. Leading think tank in California on water. Somebody who we look to provide us the future, the answers to tomorrow's water problems, comes from the think tank. How's that sound? That's not off your website. That's more of an ad-lib thing. Yeah. I want to bring up a PPIC senior fellow, Caltrop board member, past something at UC Davis, Zara at UC Davis, smartest guy in the world. Just ask him. Dr. Jeff.
So, I want to do the Alan Badinsky update. You deserve it. I want to say Ellen Hannick, leading the Public Policy Institute of California. We also, several years ago, somebody yelling at me? Okay.
Somebody you know?
Started somebody from the legislature over there. Several years ago, we started the Caltrop Ecosystem Fellowship. And Linda Ash, and Gary Arabian, and others here contributed the money, and it allowed us to basically focus on the issues of importance in ecosystem management. So I want to introduce two. Well, here they are. Two of the members. One of them could not be here tonight. Ted Grantham from Berkeley. Many of you know Ted. He did a terrific job with us in the first year of this, and he was focusing on how to make the most efficient use of water for the environment, which is something very important to Caltrop and gives guidance to Caltrop. Ted couldn't be here tonight for the best excuse ever. He got invited on an awesome fishing trip. so he missed it. But the two I wanted to introduce tonight is Letitia Grenier from the San Francisco Estuary Institute. Of the three of you who subscribe to the Chronicle, you actually see Letitia mentioned on a regular basis in the Chronicle. Letitia is one of the leading lights in basically how to restore ecosystems at scale, and she just released a fabulous report on how to streamline permitting in California, and it has already been picked up by the legislature and is changing the direction of the legislature. This is the benefit directly to Caltrop from this, and this is the synergy between us. Then the other person I want to introduce here is Sarah Knoll, Professor Sarah Knoll from Utah State. Some of you will remember Sarah. She was the one who did the initial analysis of how to take down Hetch Hetchy and make it work, which have made her very popular with Dianne Feinstein, if I remember.
Yeah.
But now she's working on basically ecosystem management and reservoirs, and we're doing a really interesting project right now through PPIC under the direction of Ellen, which is basically how to manage stored water better for the environment. These two researchers, extraordinary researchers, are doing the work that will make life easier for Caltrop. So thank you. Thank you, Linda, who's not here. And why is Linda Ash not here? She's fishing! Thank you, Gary, and others. And thank you, Curtis.
Thank you, Jeff, and our partners. Thank you all. All right, we are going to wind down a little bit, but before we wind down, we're going to go up. But I want to say one word that describes the mood of Caltrop these days, or as my daughter Greta would say, who's here tonight, stand up. Come on. Yeah. Yep, I'm very proud of her. She's at UC Davis, here with her friend Noah, sitting right up front. It's great to have you here. The vibe of Caltrop right now is urgency. We have a sense of urgency. You all feel it too. Drought, wildfire, sprinkle in a little pandemic. It's rough out there right now in California. California is changing fast. And I think each one of us can look to a special place in the last couple of years, a special place that you know, that you love, that is different, it's changed, something's happening. I live in Mount Shasta City. This mountain in my lifetime has never had snow on this side. Never looked like that. No snow. And I've talked to several others who have lived in Mount Shasta a lot longer than I have and never seen that. Not happened in my lifetime. This river, the McCloud River, one of my favorite places in the world, many of you too, has looked like this all summer. Things are changing. The science has said this. It's said it for a while. And this underscores the sense of urgency that we have. We see this every year. I mean, drought. Jeff Mount always makes sure I say that extreme variability is out there. Too little water promised to too many people. So whatever it is we're doing, we're not quite doing enough. We need to increase our impact. We need to step up and think about big ideas and take big chances and have a big vision and start to implement that. And so we're going to toss a few of those out to you. Salmon Sanctuaries, entire watersheds devoted to prioritizing wild fish and cold, clean water in a way that incentivizes and has societal buy-in across the plate from everybody that lives there. We think we can do that. Big dams out of rivers. We're working on that. Many of you here, Richard Roos Collins, John Bezdek from the Department of Interior back then, these two guys have had more to do with the Klamath dams and getting them out of that river than a lot of people that I know. So you guys just stand up a little bit. You guys deserve a lot of amazing amount of work. Easily the most complex project I've ever worked on. I think we're making a run at it, Richard, with Potter Valley, but Klamath. Big dams need to come out faster, though. It's taken us 20 plus years. We're still not quite there, but 2023 we're going to get the Klamath dams out, but it needs to happen faster. We need to accelerate the pace of getting big dams out of rivers. There's just no reason that some of these dams are still there. California's water rights are archaic and need reform to better balance the needs of wild fishing people. That's something we can take on. And finally, we need to be relevant to all Californians. The work that we do benefits all Californians, and we need to increase our relevancy to make sure that in the face of climate change, we're providing solutions that work for fish, water, and people throughout the state. This brings us to the Impact Fund. I think most of you here have heard about this. This is our effort to raise $5 million above and beyond over a 3-year investment period. We're at $3.5 million thanks to you all in the room. So if you've given to the Impact Fund, raise your hand. Many of you have. Thank you so much. I'm very excited to say we have 100% board participation in this. $3.5 million above and beyond towards our $5 million goal. We are well on our way. And Tracy Diaz, who some of you know, has had a hand in this as well, helping lead this charge. And you have an announcement to make. And I lost the mic. It's in the bushes. There it is. Yeah.
Yes.
Tracy Diaz.
Thank you, everybody, and thank you to those who have already contributed to the Impact Fund. I know there are many of you here that have gotten us to that $3.5 million mark. But some exciting news that I want to share with you is that we have a very generous donor who has just offered to match dollar for dollar any donation to the Impact Fund that comes in by the end of October, so Halloween, October 31st, up to $250,000. So that will get us all the way, if my math is correct, up to just 1 million left to raise. So we're well on our way. And if you do want to help us create this better vision for California, for the future of California, what you can do is leave your name tag in a bucket that we'll have at the exit, and that will be the signal that we will contact you. So, or just, you guys all know me. Email me, call me, happy to talk to you.
Or we'll just track you down.
Anytime, or we'll track you down. We will. So that is the Impact Fund, and then I now get to do the very fun task of the Raffle Winners. I think we're to that point.
Okay.
Do we have any? Oh, look, the raffle. So the last chance. I don't even know if we have time to sell any more raffle tickets, but to help me, do we have time? No more time. So
let's go.
Get up here, Casey. So this is Casey O'Sullivan. For those of you that don't know him, you're gonna come on. And we're drawing these from a potted plant in our office. It's probably dead over the time that we have not been in the office. But okay, so we're going to start out with the very popular Caltrop Yeti cooler. It's got the Caltrop logo on top, Yeti cooler. Oh, right. And so if you win an item, you'll go to the booth over by the entrance to collect your prize. And this goes to Gary Smith. All right, Gary Smith is the proud owner of the Yeti cooler.
Can I say something about Gary Smith? Sure. I got a mic.
Oh, you do?
Gary Smith worked for the Department of Fish and Wildlife, Jim Edmonson, back on the Mono Lake case. I've known him for almost 30 years. Gary Smith, where's Gary?
He's right here.
Gary Smith, stand up. He has done a ton for fish in California. Thank you, Gary. Great to see you again. And you got a cooler now.
Enjoy that cooler. Okay, next item is a surf trip for two with George Revelle of Lost Coast Outfitters. Board member George Revelle. Stand up, George.
Wait, surf fishing. Are we going surfing, bro?
Yeah, surfing. Right, you have to surf. Right. And that is going to Libby. I know we'll Woo! Libby, congrats. That's a very fitting trip. Okay, next, we've got a ton. If you guys didn't purchase a raffle ticket, I feel sorry for you because there's great odds here. Everybody's a winner. Lower Sacramento River Trip for two with Dusty Revelle, George's brother.
Wow, the Revelle.
And that, this goes to perfect winner. Wally Wallner is the winner on the Lower Sac River Trip. I've seen some fish that, I don't know if you caught them. I think Jill caught a really nice one on Lower Sac that I saw. And you caught a nice one too, but I think Jill's was a little bit bigger. Okay, wait, next prize. The Sims G3 Guide Stocking Foot Waders. A pair of waders who couldn't use those. That's going to Jenny Tullock. Jenny, are you around? Is someone writing these down so that we know when they go over to the booth what they won? That might be. If no one's doing that, could someone do that? Okay. Write it down. Okay, so let's Sims Dry Creek Z Sling Pack in riparian camo. Camo is all the rage right now. And Barbara Moran, you are the winner. Sling Pack. Okay, next up from Lost Coast Outfitters again is an Ocean Beach surf rod. Gosh, George, you are generous. That is going to Greg Rupert. Caltrop board member, Greg Rupert.
Caltrop board member. Nice job, Greg.
I'm going to keep holding.
Okay, what's next? Okay, this is a special one. This is a 9'5" weight Sage rod, X rod, with the California Trout logo on there. So it's a collectible. That is going to Kate Jaffe. Congratulations, Kate.
All right.
Is there time for me to buy a ticket? I don't know. Can staff not win? Okay. Caltrout and Yeti cooler. This is another great one. The Caltrout Yeti cooler painted by Sarah Landstrom. We have raffled or auctioned some of these off at our gala and watershed evening, and they're really special. And that is going to John Pierce. John Pierce. Congratulations. That's a little collectible. Okay, this is a, are we here? 10-foot 4-weight Thomas & Thomas rod. Who wants that, right? Who?
Oh, yeah.
That is going to David Taylor. All right. I know. Let's hear it for David. Okay. Patagonia Black Hole Wheel Duffel. 45, this is a big one. It's been in my hallway for about 3 months now. That is going to Paul Finkel. Congratulations, Paul.
Yeah, Paul.
Paul is coming on our bottle trip. I want to see that on your bottle trip, Paul. Okay. This is another great one. Caltrop and Galvin reel. So again, this is a reel with a Caltrop logo engraved in it with the Plodra steelhead flannel. So again, we've got a retail shop out over there where you can purchase a lot of Caltrop swag. One of which is one of the steelhead flannels. This is the golden trout flannel that we're modeling here. But the steelhead flannels are for sale over there.
And we have the owner of the company here.
And we have the owner, Jeff. Yeah, so Jeff.
He's Chuck Made here in San Francisco. Yeah.
Jeff Plodra of Plodra. Yeah, made in California. If you remember so Richard, you need to know this story. That photo of you kissing the troutfish, this shirt was inspired. That was the inspiration for these shirts that were designed specifically from that photo. So, yes. Okay, who's the winner? Who is the winner? Bill Potts. Nice. Congratulations, Bill. All right, and then we have a Kelty blanket bundle. I don't know what the bundle means, but a Kelty blanket bundled with something. Libby, again. Libby, what? Odds are good. Okay, this is a great one. The Caltrop Alpenglow 50th Celebration Richard May Bamboo Rod. So this is a custom-made rod for the 50th anniversary. Woo, that got the crowds. All right.
This is it.
This is Pricewater. I'm auditing this one.
David Taylor again.
See?
Pays to buy a lot of them, I guess.
All right, but there's more where that came from. There's another one that's the 50th celebration Hat Creek bamboo rod. Chris Corage. I'm sure he doesn't have enough rods. Yeah, but Chris, congratulations. And then the grand prize is the Caltrop celebration trip. I don't know who heard me say it over there, but this is a stay at our Caltrop Shasta House with Jacob Katz and Mikey Weir as your host, guided trip. And that is going to Kate Jaffe.
Oh.
So congratulations, Kate. I'm sure she'll bring Chris, and you'll have a great time there. So thank you all for participating in that. And then we have one last, the last gift to all of you is our 50th anniversary film. And this has been a work of love by Mike Weir. Where's Mike? I can't see him. There he is. M-Dub. Many of you know Mikey.
Yeah, Mikey.
Yeah. Mike has been, he's done all of these beautiful videos, along with his team that you've seen here, and you know his work. It's amazing. He does a great job of telling the story of Caltrop and all of our projects. And so he has produced this 50th anniversary Caltrop film. So we're going to play that now, and then after that film, we've got another good hour to just celebrate, sit around the campfire, tell stories, have a cocktail, and just enjoy spending time with your friends. So thank you all so much for coming.
Thank you all. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Tracy.
how we're saving the amazing places like this?
Do you want